is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Ahaya Boadu TV, yema munyina kwaba efa embraso. Na woni se grama panyin John Dramani Mahama. Wabo eye empanyifo bi din a womo ekwakoye ambassadors ne high commissioners ewo eye amaya hodo bi so. Yen actress Asem scenario wenya appointment na ni amasa na mwali womo nyina nya kodwobo nsu nyina nya appointment a womo nyina ekwa hwa aboa ama chese woma ko represent aban no anase Ghana ewo sa amaya hodo no so list no full list no yebekọ na yakwa kwhwe eno achi isi modern bo efa elections titru ablikuma not ho tesen emusem wo ha yese isi nkrombo no hu modern yempam no MPP enso ejehuru Kennedy Ewrade odi ekwiti bi
from the office of the president. We green letter. Internet say Bibia de Dana Kwen Musa. Anti Okan etifi seminar or say appointment of ambassadors, high commissioners, and consul Ghana designates. Consul general designate, I must say. I'll say, I wish to inform you that the President of the Republic, following consultation with the Council of State, has nominated the following individuals as ambassadors, high commissioners, and consul general designates. All right. Nti share krata free omampeni aso ye de baya na sempenifo maku dunum 15 enende yabo mudin a wono mokwa ku di dwuma ekogina Ghana nemu ewa amaya hodo so. Aha nti mame boboso de dikan Benjamin A. Kwashi ono penia ya boni din woko the Republic of South Africa. Kujobonsu People's Republic of China. Sana Kasum Sinari Bafo no ko Kingdom of Spain. Hamid Rashid Tunde Ali. I hope I got the name right. And also called United Arab Emirates. Honorable Captain Kujo, Captain George Kofi Infojo, also Eko Togolese Republic. Grace E. Mahmoud, Marab, and also called United Arab Emirates, Michele Dubai. Okay, young Professor Ohini Eje, and also called Federal Republic of Germany. Sansuna Abdul so Nasiru Din, and also called Republic of Turkey. Teresa Jean Mensah, and so Eko Czech Republic. Oko India, Professor Kwesi Ubri Danso, and Eko Kwesi Ghana name wo. Sansuna Dora Francisca Edu Boadu, PhD, and also called Canada. Sansona Dr. Margaret Chebere, and also called Denmark. Lambik Joseph Yani, also Ekusi Ghana Nemu Ewa Equatorial Guinea. Sansona call the Federal Republic of Brasilia. Yenia Yadi ni Amasa Namwali Adodona friend Osi Namwali. Aha, also Ekupimo Hosana Dr. Felix Kuma Godwin Anebo also Ekusi Ghana Nemu Ewa Senegal. Aha, Antino for or say kindly take necessary steps to facilitate the appointment process for the nominees listed above. Please accept the President's highest regards. Inti penny our Secretary Edima President Omampeni Kalistos Mahama Niding ena Eshasie Ewo Honum. Tiabusia weni enkomodia over the weekend no yensaka ntino first of all yenka se yema busiafo ni nyina tirinkwa penifo ya bɔ mu din sɛ wɔn mo nkonkosi Ghana nan mu ɛwɔ aman ahodoɔ so no we constitutional provision amampeni no wɔ ho kwan sɛ also or appointed kofo ko gina Ghana name e wa aman ahodo so a ebeboa na ye nso ye nkita hodie ni saa aman ni nyina no ebetifa no akoyie empo Ghana fo a e wo saa aman ahodo no so no betimi nso ene o makwa akodi nsa wo so se de be ya ohaw ni bibibi a wono mo pe as individuals no e wo saa aman no so no ene Ghana enso trade ni de keke ka ho nyina economic discussions ni de be ko bia no o mo nyina nso ebetimi aboa na bibibia no nso akoyie e de ama oman no nti we ene enkrato anase nsemo afiri omampani aso ya abekansa ye de bi mamo e wo bibibia o hwe se de medical aka no sam penifo we no ye mo bibia trinkwa. Congratulations to all of you ye who pise dwumadi amoko akodi e wo aman ahodo so no. In fact enkoye mo ankasa mo ho ade ana mo ho bra na emom na dwumadie ne nsemo a ebeye bibibia ebekọ ansa bibibia no nso akọ sede dwumadie no esifa kọ nti yebe sede ebeye no yebebo de penifo nyina abaso ewo ho no Yakopon enkoso a ene omo nante na de omo kwakoye bia no nso enwie peye na mfa enunyam hye mfa mbra oman ni nyina ne timamfo a yawo ye ewo kromo ha sede be ya yenim so ebebenyam ebedamase we ni first story a ye hwe na ye de abram de di hobie mabusia ye nyina yenim se for some time ni eniema bo abeye bibie wo ho meka food say de na ye die tomatoes ne adwaman so ne de kekeka adwa bebre na wokomu na ya ebinimu eniema no relative no oma respond to abina namuntu efa exchange rate ni economic issues a aban no ehwe se obetimi na watoto se de be ya atimemufo no ye ho be hinhan e obebibia ye hu ye ho no saa na mo no ana eja ye hwe anim se the traders anase dwedifo no ebe ma na reflect e wo ye botom se de be ya ye benya anamo no ananse nhihye na aban ne de egu apono so no ye benya so mfaso e wo ho nti ene ya soma ya na misifo ni biako various markets ni ade ya yehwe said ya dwumedie no eko mini atewia wo line so a ye ne no ebetwetwe nkomo but ye behwe ni se saa nkomo twetwe ni ade nyina na ebehunu dia ekoso wo various markets ni mu anamo ben na adwadifo no tu anase enyema ben na wono mo ya eno nso matimemufo no nya saa mfaso no a ewo adwumaden a aban no aye said ye be ya yenso no yebenya saa ahotoso no ye ho so atoye ewo bebibia ye wo bia nti NDC for kire o madwene efa dia what they think MPP so Canada ewo ho no mame mfa enkomodie no mbra table no sina femi entie omonem sefo a omawa be sinkonwa nde na yembiso omo dia omo parties no nyina adwen ekire ewo saa nkomotwetwe mu Richard mame mfa won start die na esi I mean ya to be 6 months as far as ye nim as journalists no the electoral commission ne kache say the pink sheet era and all that both parties NDC MPP mu nyina so mu chere say some of mu pink sheet no era as far as we know 37 polling stations na aka see ya e was say yetimi enya polling stations to call the election and this is the narrative we free EC abase ye mom police protection no muntimi call the election for whoever obi enim momo perspective and momo understanding any baby am free ba no mo je Asem we say
madawase no matiati for no masinkonya amosha class TV
correct
the mechanic say electoral commission led by Jean Mensah one in the commissioners Bosman Asare mo kan ho ya to aba I think 7th of December and to aba no
yes
kacha ka 24 hours there parliamentary election results or say ka itimi ho results no by now o share constitutional a guide election a parliamentary election e kan ipefe say ya to aba ni bia for that particular constituency no they want to declare someone as a winner is the returning officer for the constituency.
Exactly.
The Okoto Abani wie no. The Mrano a man who can say obey a declaration no. What declare results?
Oza.
What declare?
Okay.
I declare a Rabran Obin as a parliamentary candidate elect. We are aware, you can check. So a Rabran Obin was fully declared as a parliamentary candidate elect based on the Electoral Commission results. Or quality here, because he cannot declare the results in isolation of the results.
Okay.
But what I say, so based on the available results then and pink sheet available, no, or declare say a Rabana Obin a winning election. After about 3 days, MPP before whom say lose election in Potona, parliamentary seat were greater crane, losing in Amanaka 2, trouble constituency and so too. And I almost say. Omba use a certain agenda no matter me the seat in the day at the account because Kugo na abano as was seen and the Jean Mensah say results na kano and ye call police headquarters was a regional police command no more declaration or nam person in Busa say ye to about Ghana as a police station Ghana Police Service for officers need a declaration of results and I say constituency no the collation center need declaration.
As far as I know, the collation center.
It's the collation center. And almost say by then they were in power. Kufado still wanted to hold on to power, but no lose support on any. And now we use police no we bully a man for. Amen. E bi no winning a call parliament nyina no moment one reason Kufado for a chain electoral commission. Mami we. And now koye ya na declare binum ewurabra oben declare no say we win no maami we be catch re say omusha election nyema bi koso gidigidi ye bi any return officers ni nkofo bi nyema bi koso ntino sa results o muntimi njintum nti on person omunya recollation omunya recollation na recollation na ebe ye no per president da honom no e was say Anka electoral commission for results now you declare no on be recollation crampo a any kwan say results now ya available no omko enu achi no mko a different recollation biom so person recollation then you have to go to court because the declaration I then awie o man fa Asem na nko court and omo aye say on be put things together and Ghana for so you need the chiri pink sheet I was say omunjina so fanye recollation as a redeclaration no they were not having it. The electoral commission who our running election for Abdulmanov constituency they don't have the resource the data to declare and Abdulmanov was say some more person munya recollation there then we ought to use your pink sheet to do the recollation or redeclaration. They were not having it. So there is no way we can allow you to use a pink sheet or a document by any of the political parties. Of course, MDC other than because of gidi about almost lose some of their
pink sheet.
MPP before okay, move on the answer money authenticating and say good and answer authentic and also they were not able to get all. So the best thing Anka was say Anka by now either say we will rerun the various polling stations or we need a pink sheet available no and I say we will run the entire constituency election biom so that both MPP and NDC you be just to say okay yeah no results are yes run election no results ni declare no bia wan den ato no but MPP Jean Mensah say adwebu woni tima na ko pese pensempe ebiba Ghana hasi and one the destination in team and I say gross incompetent.
I see.
And until up to now you're running election every year declaration ain't me empire.
Yeah, but you make the point to say the electoral commission and decided say recollect the results. But as far as I know, I'm sure you know maybe now you need so there. The matter went to court. Obekaya and MPP for legal counsel in charge of one more there. He's called what's the name? Frederick Munipa, your friend is
Frank Davis.
No, not Frank Davis. The other one, Gary went to court on mandamus, and a mandamus, Supreme Court so and a share electoral commission said they should come and collate the results to be able to put finality to the internet. It was the court decision that the results has to be collated. And I
was say some mandamus na omode ko no who was na ambe before na nim so kuku nyama no wo no ma baby papa betima dey every member.
I see.
Now, say yes, electoral commission put say, Omumba may recall. I didn't want to mean ye. Oma intimanya to the President John Dramani Mama basis to 7 January. But 1 month after I say 2 abano.
So I'm saying I mean protection.
Protection. So as at that time, Akufo-Addo was the president who was supposed to give them the protection to do the declaration or the recollection. This was the president then. So why is it that they were not able to give him that protection? And today, the minority is saying that they want the president today to give a protection to the electoral commission to go and do the declaration. You were not able to do it when you were in power. In fact, for Christ's sake, Akufo-Addo sat on after voting 7 December to 7 January before President Mahama took over. So if there's any protection, Ghana Police Service, render the electoral commissioner, they could have equally give that kind of protection.
I see.
But what I said, the electoral commission currently, as we speak, as a result of gross incompetence by the commissioners, it is a reason why they have not been able to declare the results up until now.
So moving forward, as a party, say electoral commission and Oma Koli say a through the Ghana police and mom bimbo no one called the election. Do you agree to that? And now so say what is your position as a party, CC?
Me jitu say electoral commission we Oma feel Ghana for. Baby and come for afotuo ene jani asekan e de kuma mo ho. Ghana for more patient. Enu ntina Abrekumanoff basa ye ensedan koso honum. Because as you speak, you were members of parliament or more representing or more constituents. What about Abrekumanoff?
So what's the way forward?
The way forward is that the electoral commission has failed to achieve its mandate, to work to achieve the mandate given to them. They should be sacked.
Sir,
that is my position.
No, at the MP Bebre constituency
when they are sacked, Yamo Aduma say when Timanye, Utiwa, you resource be and see a sacco, no before Froba, not so by year Dumana. I think that one is better. Than say people set in a honum, now resource I have to resource on your day. Is
that your party's position?
So my position is that
yes, I come.
The electoral commission for no yen sake omo because ya to about 6 months down the line, Abrekumanoff constituency, omuni member of parliament.
Okay.
They did the same thing to SAR 2020 election. Yeah, to about my whole community. Jean Mensah led by electoral commission, Bosman Asare and others. Omu making sure say for entire 4 good years, the people of SAR were not having member of parliament. And if it is not a gross incompetent, what would you call it? And Yamawa Juma, then you failed to perform your duty well. What are you supposed? What's supposed to happen to you? You're supposed to be sacked.
Okay.
So the electoral commission, just like any other state institution, I think they have failed on the mandate given to them. They should be sacked. The presidents should not be afraid because Ghanaians are watching what their performance, and we all know say. Some people here to Aba, Oman Timi and member of parliament for 4 good years. Here to Aba 2020 electoral commission, we declare results 4 good times.
Okay.
After that, here to Aba 2024 we.
All right.
The people of Abrekumanoff, Omuni member of parliament.
Okay.
There's enough reason to say the electoral commission led by Jean Mensah. One and call for no.
We are 10 minutes, and so Fred. Also, what 10 minutes? What's your party's position on this matter?
Doc, Madam, na mafa kwenya we switch here. Etiefo a omajibo mo CTV.
Great.
Na enya kasa dede. Enya gidigidi. Ni ayebeta itina kasa o kanyina no. didn't know the fact of the matter no on kind na dog the woman or say ya to ababia the returning officer at the district level or constituency level no?
Yes.
And the returning officer
for the parliamentary.
Granted.
True or false?
Maninkasa.
Say true the other. You shouldn't say that.
Please.
You need to correct him.
Don't worry.
It was 10 minutes, man.
Flu.
So I don't expect him to be interjecting. Uncle who said, per the People's Representation Act, the returning officer of the presidential and the general election. The word is what? The presidential and the general election.
Yes.
The general election includes the parliamentary elections. It's the EC chairperson. The returning officer at the district level or the constituency level is only acting on behalf of the EC chairperson at that particular level. And so, say we are returning officer at our district. Now we make a declaration. Based on the declaration, you know, if there is something wrong, the person who can call you to order, the person who can call you to order is the chairperson.
Okay.
The boss of the electoral commission or the electoral commissioner on the back calling you to what? To order.
Okay.
A declaration was made in respect to Ablikmanot. It said maybe the Bahon, and the electoral commission came in and said, declaration now we you know. Do not reflect. Okay?
Yes.
Do not reflect with the true results of what? Of the election. So hold on. And let us what? Look into the matter. This is not the first time district UBI then what do you call it? District officer I had declaration EC chairperson about overturning. Happy baby will you are only acting on behalf of the chairperson. And so the final say lies with the EC chairperson, not you the returning officer at the district level. So I don't think correct. Two, Asem President Boadu was the president when the mandamus application against the EC chairperson was granted. And Tina was saying EC chairperson, you know, it's me there Boadu to me Buama or declare results. No.
Yeah.
The mandamus application was granted on the 4th of January. Now can now here be handing over.
3 days.
3 days to the handing over ceremony. How many months? 6 months. And the mandamus application, doc, it was clear. The mandamus application did not order the electoral commissioner to go and do rerun of the election as far as Ablikmanot constituency is concerned. The application granted was that security services, that is the Ghana Police Service and other security services, in the election process, you know, should make sure that they provide enough security to the electoral commissioner to declare Ablikman what? Recollate and declare Ablikmanot results. The condition is that the electoral commissioner should get enough what? Security. And the reason being that what? And this year too, to trust them in the Chromebase. There are video evidence all over. You want to trust them in the Chromebase. It's a common pay Mahama Uba, you free Sampa, and this for winning a banner. Court on the say, make sure they get enough security to declare the results. Uba 6 months, then why I found.
Okay.
So you see, and yes, EC chairperson and declare results. No, name the condition that they should get enough security to declare the results. No, Uba, why you not saying?
Okay.
That is the question we are asking. So one more security, no more declare results now. Then you can hold them accountable. Say results now, and by that they your move fault. But security was our buying through Ghana Police Service. And other security agencies are more.
Okay.
So don't fault the issue. I mean, blame yourself for that. We've won the election. And then President Kufuor money MPP for the number say, oh, it's results in the crap we pin sheet. In the end, rerun of the entire election. No. What you mean this phone say NDC a winning election on can't just say some rerun of the election. Say me Jimmy who say Makwablik man not parliamentary election. I'm a parliamentary candidate will win election. Why don't I request for a rerun? Meanwhile, the court shall say we should allow the EC to do recollation and to make a declaration on that. And you are saying you are not interested in that, but then there should be a rerun of the election. And to assume, so you would say we win election, just an MPP. You dear would say you win election now, and now you are say a recollation now. MPP parliamentary candidate or Wablik but not be ever declare winner. Why don't we have to request for a rerun of the election? Because we have our figures and we know that we won the election. More than 5,000 votes. I'm telling you, the woman won the election more than 5,000 votes.
But the parliamentary candidate who stood on your party say she's leading per omu calculation by a figure of around 441.
Me say.
Now who say 5,000?
We are still trying a year proper forensic audit into the figures.
Oh, sir?
Yes, now we can be a year ago.
Okay.
When we did forensic audit into the election results based on the pin sheet, the NPP parliamentary candidate, another make us out say. Oh, the NPP parliamentary candidate has won over 5,000 votes. So let me NBC for no metna yeah, that's it. NSA. The Electoral Commission that one, independent institution, are responsible for what? Conducting elections in this country.
Exactly.
Per the law.
Yeah.
Now, Asem say, and I see chairperson, and I saw for a representation for 4 good years. And you blame them for that. Mrana will say, any constituency be falling in between 2 regions. Any constituency be falling in between 2 regions. So, for example, Accra, Greater Accra, and Eastern Region, a share border. And the question in some moment do a jury. Ever check Greater Accra, any part of in some moment do to question Eastern Region. There be since someone do a jury or Greater Accra, we say Greater Accra. Say what Eastern Region, we say Eastern Region. One for the South for Asem ya working. Ya chair voter region, I benya Oti region. The constituency was splitted. A bit and a bit call. What do you call it? Is it Buem or so?
Yeah.
So you expect the EC chairperson to do what? Error. So you don't blame the EC electoral chairperson, electoral commissioner for deliberate attempt to deprive the people of SAR a representation in parliament. No.
Okay.
Per the law, they can't do it. And they can say to one constituency, I fall in between 2 regions. No. Yeah, can you say electoral commission. Oh, and when I hear people equating Jean Mensah and Charlotte say issue, and for that matter, we should sack Jean Mensah. Who will end this for me? Say the woman and a 2020 election or declare about 4 times, and I say, why would General Secretary? I know I'm Chairman General. Yanti Kromano called Gina. Simply as I say, former chairman, at the time a more election petition, I was Supreme Court, and I'm only collated results. But this for the catcher said, if won the election, and for that matter, the court should declare the results in their favor.
Anyway, so what is your party's position? They say, moving forward, a dear na mo hwe ni say aban ni beye, a dear na mo hwe ni say EC ni beye.
Clear. Your petition Aban, your petition Ghana Police Service.
Okay.
Actually, say the ruling by the court, Accra High Court, in respect of the mandamus application granted against the electoral commissioner, they should go by that order.
Okay.
By making sure, say, enough security will be made available for the electoral commissioner to come and do recollation of the figures and to declare a parliamentary candidate winner. Simple.
Okay. I see. So we are convinced that you've won.
We've won the election. There's no doubt about it.
Provided security. You agree with the electoral commission.
30 months out. Honorable Bai Rebe, they say he has been declared parliamentary winner of the parliamentary election. He acquired recollation. Olusuwahi over 4,000 vote difference. And here are Jean Mensah course our parliament representing the people of Techiman South.
Okay.
And then this is for the to trust somebody or what that's what they are known to be.
I see.
They can't say you collect resources. Only have to collect resources. I can't say we pinch it either. Who also pinch it either?
Anyway, you're moving away from the conversation. Now you're into other areas. You see, you know, momos more here and say, or provide security ama electoral commission for so that they can go ahead with their job. The NDC is also saying through Richard say, also has rule for gross incompetence near there. But Nekwakra say the nation would have to move on. Just 1 minute. Me who say we say
na me pese I mean kind be constitution na me nua bema na ye nyina ye mbua Ghana tiefo ne hu se de o kan kontompo ne de o kan kore because ono kasa na o say me ba tan na me yedede enye dede manum nya me hene ma be dede wa hase na mu ye betena se ye boa Ghana fo tiefo no mahwe amamu si de Ghana nkan ko isiko edefa enti me kind constitution no I guide the election e Ghana say me kind article 49
great
me kind clause 1 and 2 Article 49, clause 1 say, at any public election or referendum, voting shall be by secret ballot. Section 2, clause 2 will say, immediately after close of the poll, the presiding officer shall, in the presence of such of the candidates, their representative and their polling agents, as are present, proceed to count at the polling station the ballot papers of that station and record the vote cast in favor of each candidate. The presiding officer, the candidate or their representatives, and in the case of referendum, the parties contesting for the agents and the polling agents, if any, shall sign a declaration. As someone better than make us say, the presiding officer of the constituency, no, on na constitution where man and wording see a twabanu we are, Shana can declare. I say the person will be acting on behalf of the commission. That is so true. So if you are acting now, it means that you have been given the capacity. And the full rigors of the law has been given to the presiding officer to declare the results.
Also the returning officer for the parliamentary election.
Who is also the returning officer for the parliamentary. In fact, it is the returning officer who is the sole returning officer for the parliamentary election. And yet the electoral commissioner, Jean Mensah, and they declare results. What Techiman South, our Black Manoff, our Dominic Boom, our Botano English amount from. But what I say, our Kumase, Swamini Subin constituency, and yet Jean Mensah, and they declare parliamentary results for Honum. Constitution say it is the returning officer into Onima on the constitution.
All right.
Secondly,
for Anusina,
I think that's a quick rebuttal on that.
All right, that's fine. Frederick, Bibikana is only fair. But you agree with me, say we are familiar with the CI 127.
Please, we'll get there. I don't even the same constitution no quote here. Article 43. And they establishing the office of the Electoral Commission. Article 43. And it shall say the Electoral Commission is consisted with a chairman or a chairperson, that is the head, and 2 deputies. In the same constitution now, quote here, the 1992 constitution, the only people are constitution ebo mudin nipa miensa. Said the Electoral Commission under Article 43 of the Constitution shall be headed by a chairman or a chairperson. Chairperson could be say or ban said the beba. Assisted by 2 deputies. My point I'm making is say the presiding officer at the district level, at the constituency level, is only acting on behalf of the chairman or the chairperson of the Electoral Commission under Article 43. So whatever the person does at the district level or constituency level, is at that that person does it on behalf of the electoral commissioner under Article 43.
Okay.
So the presiding officer now only was say me a presiding officer wa blekuma not the me pen me wa say. No, the person take directive from the boss who is the chairman or the chairperson of the electoral commission.
No,
and that,
help my brother
Yeah,
to help the conversation very well. Help him.
Fred,
I think you should help him because mistaking the point of.
I'll help my viewers. Don't worry. Yes.
The American
so that we don't confuse the viewers.
The American say the presiding officer at the district level.
Okay.
And say entro a CI for election.
Exactly.
The presiding officer at the district level, and for rules and regulations, and for election of Ablekuma North or Anyanso Utom constituency. But based on the CIR, Electoral Commission under Article 43 of the Constitution establishing the office, and known as presiding officer, agents they are conducting election at the district level or at the constituency level. So the presiding officer at the district level, any that right to do things at his own discretion.
Exactly.
He must take directive and order from the boss under Article 43. And so the chairperson, the presiding officer is not Jean Mensah, but the person at the district level. You are confusing yourself. Get it or leave it. The presiding officer, CI, they conduct election, and you're natural. And you see the veteran at the parliament, and the parliament I approve before it can be used in conducting any general election. So that is my point.
I see. All right. So, the point really is clear. As far as Yejumei is concerned, these two political parties would always have their position on some of these things. But the fact still remains that in every election, there were rules here govern, and particularly for 2024 elections, we're using the CI 127 to govern the electoral process. The CI 127 is clear. Say declaration of parliamentary results is done at the collation center by the returning officer. And so for those of you who you can as well take your Google CI 127 and the position is clear. A law, a matter of law shall. The instruction was that the returning officer at the collation center would declare the results, and that should be the position of the Electoral Commission. And so, yes, they can have their own views and opinions on this subject matter, but this is the position that, as far as we know on this table and as by practice, the legal position is that it was the electoral returning officer for that constituency who was at the collation center is supposed to declare the results, and not the Electoral Commissioner declaring or calling any other position on the parliamentary elections. That should be clear. The Electoral Commissioner is concerning herself or himself with the presidential elections. And any mandate. So that's where the confusion is coming from. But we were hoping, say, in the coming days, we bring a finality to the matter so that we can move on as a nation.
So I think you have exposed him.
No, I'm not exposing
you have been exposed. No. You see, when we all come here and say something, when we come and sit here and say something, we need to help the listeners to know who is speaking the truth.
So I have helped my listeners.
You have helped your listeners to know that this man was trying to play with words. And what I said is true. Sir, we are the returning officer of the constituency, on the mandate to declare the results. And the person is doing that based on what the constitution and the law is saying.
Okay,
you cannot have any other interpretation.
Thank you very much.
Apart from what the law is saying.
Thank you very much.
That's all.
Wait.
They are already, under CF 127. A shall preface the returning 43. The returning officer at the district
collation center.
Oh, please, what is it?
Oh, Maninkasa.
The returning officer at the coalition level, and they declare results. Granted.
Okay.
The electoral commissioner, the boss or the chairman of the electoral commissioner, only coalition center.
Yeah.
Take it. Jean Mensah Kwatina Ablekuma not say or train results no declare.
Exactly.
By Ablekuma, what the name? Electoral Commission a delegate the powers now. Or what under Article 43 of the Constitution, 1992 Constitution, or delegating people to represent her at the district levels to declare results.
I get all this.
So me, my point that I'm making is that the presiding
right
officer
to call the returning officers to order.
Of course,
at any
because
point
he, the chairman or the chairperson or the electoral commission under Article 43.
So we'll leave that to take its course. My next conversation and starting through so Fred, your party. They say there's been a lot of issues concerning more primaries in the last week. You and I were say mokoko na den na usiri mukosi nkonya ene mpeni for the abase January 31st 2026 mo be mo flag bearership race there's been back and forth and there we share we echina we share we MMDCs and Accra we had Brian Achampon also meeting some MMDCs ewo Greater Accra ha ne de keke town. Now Samia Wuku is said to have said say mo party at this point in the mo need any other choice than to bring Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia into the picture to lead the party once again into election 2028. What are you saying?
Madawasi, no correct. Last National Council meeting NPP, I have almost 31st of January 2026 near presidential primaries to get a presidential candidate for election 2028. Me personally, I support early Congress, and I don't think there is anybody in the NPP or because early Congress on support to elect presidential candidate. But some sections of the party, including me, your concern is say ye conducted primaries in term. Now ye presidential candidate, and your problem. No momuno structures ben ye ko yi say nipa. Is it the same structures I dey call ya? Ehun sunsanso enya ye na na dey position. Eno an ye dey ko. Say eno an ye dey ko dia, then ye nya ya adwin say ye pe election be win. Because you cannot use the established problem no to determine the future of the party come 2028.
We say established problem any day.
Say album never there are a lot of places album never correct.
Okay.
A lot of issues when we look at the court near the Thanos North and the other side a court.
Yeah.
It's just the people in the album no and credible. I don't know dog be Katana was.
Oh, that's it.
Album is credible. And so there is a need for us to get the structures of the party through the electoral college correct, robust, so that anybody who emerge winner in the Congress come give us power.
Yes.
Because it should be the choice of the people. The choice of the people should reflect in who becomes flag bearer for the party, who becomes parliamentary candidate for the party at the various constituency level. So that is what we are saying. Samia Wuku will declare the man, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Agent Samia Wuku in the 2023 primaries, he was with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yes.
Into Kame, I will be very surprised to see him say, call different camp. And this is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Obi so Kennedy. Obi so Obi so Brian Champon. Nina no party no. Sankobi Samia Wuku be ka so support NDC and many problem. But say on one call NDC no what MPP must support MPP need there. Many problem there one. Obi no choice. But in all this, the grassroots of the party will decide.
Okay.
The base of the party will decide. Samia Wuku cannot say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a president. So as will be soon to make us a brother champion a presidential candidate. The base of the party will decide. The grassroots will decide. The police station executive or the delegate will decide who becomes flag bearer and who should not to become flag bearer whatsoever. The whole thing is.
I see.
So they can go on. The MPs are declaring we see me waha. Well, I personally I don't want us to veer into that. Say publicly, we be just say me waha say MP. I be just say me waha. Former minister I be just say me waha. Create tension.
And the minim say we want mama nka.
Oh, then and only a minute for intermuasem. You know, never buy me as a did the komo. A whole section on its own, and I have reasons for supporting that particular candidate.
Great. That me share more constitution. Remember ni isu sesia rich. Remember also sesia. Article 13, talking about more elections concerning the presidential lay. People have raised concerns, say the date itself in the Quran. In fact, some other Pennyful War Party have even had to go on radio to describe the decision by NEC. Say, for Monfanchemi, say, a nonsense. Yes, Boache Jako and Co. Which is to say that there are some big ways in the party of Maninjas and but they think that the bottom down approach, in fact, you should start from the grassroots to the top. Muntimi and if indeed you still want to do early Congress to elect your flag bearer, say Muntimi the best 6 months to see why you still go systematically and I could read January now, Mamana.
I strongly support you about Jaco's position. Top down approach. And also again, down being a bull roofing, and a foundation. Logically, politically, strategically, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. And these are my reasons. So, what's say, oh yeah, top down approach. We will introduce a top down approach to elect a flag bearer. What is the purpose? And in doing so, no purpose, no, will you be able to achieve it? Say, you can move me Omampe, do be partner in their agency. Now, we are about the sister partner if you down what they are called. And also to your den.
See.
So, because we understand it gives the parliamentary presidential candidate, that total control over the party. Me, me contested as flag bearer. Now, me Richard is so contested as flag bearer. Now, what to support to their mommy? Now, at the end of the day, me win. Now, Richard, we near. Who now to support man who aspires to be a national chairman or an MP or regional executive? No. What's Richard be more chance say Brana Koya Sadena? How much a chance? No. So at the end of the day, all the people that supported Richard are the people that will occupy the hierarchy of the party from the polling station to national, and it gives that candidate that kind of control over the party because his people are there.
Yeah, I get you. All right. Where the Nkanya Masem?
Also on Kebi.
We Nkanya Masem. Na Akobasa. Nti kakakramen kan bebre.
Za Ghana na ye chichire. Na Ghana na ye chichire.
Omo party ni mo dwa. Mo nso benya somdwe ni mabuman no.
Na afi nso. Ahun say de bi asem nti na abo aserwa. Ojiji ne ba we ni atonchen.
Okay.
What I say?
Okay.
And a person will be hunting a teacher bois. Hey. What I say?
Richard I.
NPP4. Decision will take be an Osagana for every Ninya day. India Chile will tell me. Yes, the reason is say. And maybe by NPP4 be digging so before. But what I say?
Yes.
So when a political party, you cannot say they are taking some decisions, you don't care about it. Ghana so just recently. Decisions taking, it affected all of us. At the point, that dollar was 17 Ghana cedis. So if you were going to import something now you were using the 17 Ghana cedis to import. I'm making a point. At the point, now petrol and I'm 18 Ghana cedis. And pay before the baby mine. And so we take a decision business here. I was here who say in India at the pan of Moyana now. And before some Kwakusidine. Consider that was selected or presidential candidate for 2028. Now, then I'm Bessino. I'm bo roofing. Abo painting. You don't go and 2 blocks we abo painting. Look at these people.
Dabi,
Asem when you are crown more names as a mechanic. No, it is not. It's not logic. It doesn't make sense. Say, oh, person selected a flag bearer. Now, person selected leader. No. As a Robert selected or more to Abano, and they are selected leader no. Because I'm sure say more elected branch executive they have a term of 4 years. But what I say now some of the best selected the presidential candidate. Into Omo was he say no. Omo selected the presidential candidate for 2024 election that. Sir. They say we use Omo na say Omo ko selected presidential candidate for 2028 election. Not just say they've had two terms. Now, after say was selected presidential candidate, what are they going to do?
It's an issue of concern.
Yes.
So I'm asking him, say they should, some of their lawyers, they should take this matter to court.
Doc,
within their own party.
Doc,
well, Asem,
Doc,
I'm just advising them.
Yeah, say National Council decision will take it and you're final. In fact, we show a constitution and the higher decision-making body of the party, a delegate conference, and as a conference, on the 19th of July, in a conference. No maybe
I see, but
I strongly believe say National Council de buy. But
me constitution and I may clarity kakra also. There's certain school of thought so omogine say their neck akano. There's some finality if you knew a best mo conference na mo because you okay 30 article 13(1) but or say the election of the party's presidential candidate shall be held not later than 24 months from the date of the national election. The date and the venue for the election shall be decided by the National Council. Shall be decided by the National Council. The date and the venue. Provided, however, that the National Council may, on appropriate occasion, vary the date.
So like I said, Constitutional Chair said we are opposition and you can say elect a flag bearer less than 24 months to the general election. So 24 months and in the day. 24 months no may expire on the 7th December 2026. And start 24 months no expire. So it means from January 2026 to December 2026, we can still have our Congress to elect a flag bearer. And a constitutional culture say that date can vary from date or from time to time by what National Council.
If they deem fit.
They deem fit. Now the same constitution is also telling us what the highest decision-making body of the party, and yet National Council, a conference. Conference in the July. Until one year, but we say party no delegate from polling station. I heard from polling station.
I think it's
to
taking
national.
time.
And I hear you better national. Yeah.
All right. Rich, where you want to
I
mean, we have other things to talk about. Top to bottom approach. I'm fan. We on the Ghana for some who say MPP for no ankasa no. Omo take decisions more no. What I say, I like kakra. Or say omuntimi nya niam abeboa party because what election will lose 1 year crown by you. 1 year crown by. Also akoto aba nipa ko de no election no a o lose poto 38% no. Send nipa ko na o san se o de no ko mu pese mo nya election san select nipa ko na because osuro ba unya suro ba ko suro say omo ye bottom to top approach now. The grassroots will select a new person to lead the party. That is why they want to use. So that is why they want to do the top to down approach. So Baumia, which they want to establish him. Say if they know, say he's the right choice of the people. Baumia, any MP before national executive, they should wait. They should elect the branch executive. They should elect the constituency executive. They should elect the regional executive, and then they will elect the national elective executive. Then after, those people all come together, and go and vote for their presidential candidate. That is the logic, and that is what I think they have been doing for a very long time. I think this is fresh to the new patriotic party. Say, omu ko election, omu ko select leader no, omu dinka select leader no, as an omu ko select omu no mbeye juma. It doesn't make sense. So MPP, they should go and visit their books. But I think it's a problem they had during 2028 election. Because of their current crop of leaders. They don't take good and better decisions for the party. So these people, they want to bring someone to come and rule this country. I think they should go and rest.
And they Bank of Ghana, Mua Bem, Muyink of Wedi. As you see, Krata Abekai and such as in fact, over 100 people at the BOG, and BOG is saying, say, they did that for a good reason. In fact, what kind of letter now? Director say letter no aye crowd will be timina odiato screen so na yahwe phone so ehunu de eko ewo honom. Bank of Ghana kire ni nsem mu say there are some good reasons for which reason tia omo ayi sankofo nyina edi. I say management regrets to inform you that your appointment cannot be confirmed. Consequently, your employment with the bank will be terminated effective Monday, June 23, 2025, in accordance with the terms of your appointment and the bank's policies. You will be paid 1 month salary in lieu of notice. Nti mo amohwe no krata na dey ato screen no so muhu ewo ho no. Kindly ensure that all items blah 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 ewo ho no. So dey na ekoso we dey 2 minutes.
I think what the
Muslimu be create job am youth. Ade na mu yi ngofo di.
Oh, many hours on board for no move the cost one cassa.
Okay.
Maybe I make cassa, on because be a political lens. It's not make cassa.
Okay.
The cost of Bank of Ghana and say Uncle Fire for more Juma December 2024. No, a Juma be alpha or be a woman a probation period.
Exactly.
So probation period no. We share the assessing the background the Juma and the modern bo. Nim the say a Juma no our person be no. Ubet my year Juma na and the performance level you appraise the person. He say indeed so of confirm the employment manner. Ubet my boama company no share ne target be be person fa ne man kodi no ubet ma ko ni mana. Eno na Bank of Ghana December 2024 omuye recruitment e for adwumayefo say adwumayefo no start adwuma and a probation period of 6 months.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I say, 6 months na do ena ye hwe mu na ebinum wo no ma
Omumbo number.
Ebinum bonoma. And you're retaining ebinum.
Okay.
Just like I am waiting for no moon shall say. Ebinum on my form December 2024. Omakem, I am retaining ebinum.
Some modern boss.
That's why any ebinum so on ma. Omambodin bon on your day and so any.
Okay.
Now, when we are employer. And now fed my four. And now targets. The kind of productivity I hope person would man and fa. Now ebinum with my phone on ma mumbo. What will you do? Especially say and you be a confirming the full-time employment. That's an background still under probation. I believe that after the expiring of the probation period, you still
by law,
by law. And Ghana labor for minimum say at the Bank of Ghana it doesn't have any legal application because a probation period day and they do and I catch them say they should go and stay home because they show much money on body bona and so any and you know they should go and stay now
yes more employment be am ye senka we dey ne papa mu ana 2 minutes or 2 minutes until 2
we the minimum Richard to our okay and now that's any good
Obekrata ni Bank of Ghana
team ebro for match
na na wo he wa
man nkasa 2 minutes penny wo me wo next segment
me come Asem no ni nyina say Bank of Ghana a deliberate attempt to get all people for a recruit to under the regime out of the whole scheme and
we know your political
Debra omoba no truck krata pamu bia na uni bibi Dumelevu when they appointed Dumelevu was appointed on the 30th of December 2016 ya to abewia era John Mahamelu supporter okofi and appointed Dumelevu MPP ba ya mpamono oye adwuma to so no ankasa obre ya okofi
dabi mpacho stop misinforming. Domlevo was asked to proceed on leave because of an agency and some.
Oh yeah, Juma for how many years?
Supreme Court. Please. He went to the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, Juma for how many years? Domlevo yeah Juma to the sense say obey Charlotte say when Juma e ba say for over $50 million ama me no aye ne nwura ya enam so ma ya pamo no. Nti ebibi ba ya pamo ya Domlevo. Oh yeah Juma.
Nti dey na dey no go Supreme Court.
Me say ya ba ya pamo no.
There be dey na dey.
Me say ya ba ya pamo Domlevo. Oto aso ye na Juma. NCC boss oto aso ye na Juma.
Okay.
Try the boss and this for power na nsa na moko. Okoso ye na Juma.
But we are probationer. Yes,
probation. Brofo me tell the into apamo mo because MPP for the former Juma. But me Richard me nka ema bia wakomentu. Me case to pay say MPP ba. Na me adum say na Ghana for nyina dwa to me say e beto abama MPP 2027 January. yɛde to me MPP man panyin si so wie pɛ ndc for ya fa ma adwuma fiti emeyi na se January etwa mu ya 2029 ebe pamo mu nyina ne be ya MPP for so meba
where the position of the mo party
yes sana mo say konfia be kon sa pepe
Ghana 40 Ghana 40
be kon sa pepe
mami na wase Richard Niayi
me abema we me sure say before say MPP be ba party power no wa ba kokora enti this na say ma all cast see ya no I'm sure say it's dead on arrival most of the people in the new patriotic party by the time the MPP come to power they are aged pensioners he will be nowhere to be found
every NDC Amayokuru mami na wase bro